Yes. Welcome back to another stream. It's the end of season review part 2. Caldu's been speaking, I say again, but it is just the continuation from yesterday. Big up to all the people in the chat. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified every time that we go live. Transfer news is popping off every day nowadays. So you need to know when we're going live. We've got them emergency transfer streams and everything when Caldoon decides to go chaos mode. If you want to support the channel even more, I mean, join the Xtra Club. Link in the description. On that, bro, on the transfer front, any transfer news or nah?
Romeo Lavia, Fabrizio saying that Arsenal are advancing talks on that. So, yeah, that's looking decent for Arsenal. Of course, City do have a buyback, but it's not active until next year. So if they did want it, they'd have to go in now.
They have to go in now and pay whatever the market's at, innit?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we'll have some sort of sell-on clause, though. So we might get a couple of million quid from that. Who knows? But yeah, other than that, yeah, we're still waiting for the domino, man. That one domino, and then boom, the whole process will start.
And obviously on the transfers, usually this second part of the Caldoon interview is where we'd find the hints towards how our transfer window's gonna go. But Caldoon being very tight-lipped on it, isn't he?
He is, yeah, and I think this is sort of how the club is moving at the moment. I think we are moving in this sort of like back streets. We ain't really telling everyone, you know what I mean? I think we try to keep everything very close to us. I also think there's a part of the fact that City don't really know what's happening. We don't know what's going to happen with Gundogan. We don't know what's going to happen with Mahrez. We don't know what's going to happen with Kyle Walker. You know what I mean? So until we know what's happening with these players, it's kind of difficult for us to fully commit. It's not actually a great position to be in because you kind of want to know, right, you're leaving, yeah? This is the bid. Right, cool, that's going to happen. We'll get this guy in. There's 3 players at our football club now in Kyle Walker, Mahrez and Gundogan, where no one really truly knows whether or not they're going to stay at the football club or not. So this is the problem, man. And some people will say it's not a problem, and that's fair. But yeah, we're not really getting too much news. Like I say, we've spoke about this previously, and the only thing that we're getting at the moment is Gvardiol, which isn't really like. It's not like it's happening. It's sort of just like, yeah, we're getting a few links and that. It looks decent.
Advancing.
No one's really said we're in advanced talks or a fee's agreed or personal. It's all just kind of like, yeah, City kind of want the player. The only one that obviously is close is Kovacic. Yeah. And who knows? If Gundogan stays, will we pull out of that deal? No one really knows what's going on. So I think until we know what's happening with Gundogan, which did you say that he's going to decide by the end of this week or next week?
This week.
So once we find out what's going to happen with Gundogan, which I assume is going to be this week, then I think we'll start to see things pick up the pace. I think with the Mahrez thing, I think that we'll be going to Saudi Arabia and saying to them guys, you got a deadline. If you want this player, you've got to bid by this date. This is the fee. If not, don't talk to us because we can't afford to sell him after a certain time.
I think they'll want these players done by the time pre-season's kicking off.
Yeah.
I think they want decisions on all these players because they want the players around the camp that they're taking to pre-season to be players that are going to be there next season.
Yeah, so exactly.
I think they'll be looking at Saudi going, look, you need to sort your shit out. You need to pull your finger out, get the bid put in if you want Riyad Mahrez. But if you don't get it done by pre-season, then you're not having him at all. Because we can't shoot ourselves in the foot, innit? You don't want to sell Mahrez late and then not have enough time to go get someone else.
And this is why you've got to speak to Mahrez and say, look, where's your head at? Yeah, you know, like you watch Love Island, bro.
Yeah.
You know when they sit there down and go, where's your head out? And then
my head's being turned.
Yeah, and then you speak to Mahrez and you're like, yo, Mahrez, have you got any connections with Saudi? Like, what's the connection like? And then he either says, no, I'm closed off at Manchester City, or he's like, no, I'm still open. I'm open to exploring new connections. So this is what you got to do to Mahrez. You got to say, where's your head at, bro? Because he might turn around and say, nah, I don't want to go there. I want to stay City. And you're like, chilling. If he's like, I want to leave, or I'm kind of open to it, then you've got to say to him, like, that's fine, but you can only leave if it's by this date because you're still an important player to us, as I'm sure you understand, and we can't afford to be letting you go later on in the summer and then we're in a panic situation. And as we've mentioned over previous streams, there's not actually that many right wingers out there that are better than Mahrez. So we're probably going to be in a weaker position anyway. So you've got to set deadlines, and you got to say to the Saudis, if you want Mahrez, come to us before end of June. And you say to him, you can come to us with £100 million bid after June. We're not accepting it. You've got to do it by June.
Yeah,
You've got
you can
to make
give us
that
whatever you want afterwards, but if you don't give it by the end of June, then there's no point even trying. Because it, like say, it puts us in a difficult position even now. Never mind after the end of June, like when the time's running out.
Exactly.
King Haaland will go to the 20 months. Yes, King Haaland, mate. Long time. Says, yes, Gvardiol and Kovacic incoming. And imagine if we get Barella and Chaser and get Neymar. Our transfer window sorted, Bray. I think you're reaching a little bit there.
Well, the thing is, right, if we get Kovacic and Gundogan signs, or if we get Kovacic and we sign another midfielder, that tells me that Phil Foden's not going to be playing in midfield. So that would tell me that Foden's probably going to start next year on the right wing. Because for me, I need Phil Foden starting week in, week out next season. Whether it's in the middle, whether it's on the right wing. He has to start. In that situation, if Mahrez does leave, I'm quite happy to take that risk on Chiesa. Now, granted, I've not seen him play since he's had the ACL, but it is a gamble, but he's also just a backup, and it's 30 million euros, I think, which is nothing in today's money.
That's decent.
So it is a decent fee. Obviously Neymar's not going to happen in it, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, going back to the actual original topic, Khaldoon didn't really say too much. He kept most things close to his chest on the transfer window. Which
could that feed into what we were saying yesterday and what we've been saying for a few days, like something big behind the scenes?
I don't know. I
just don't know what it could be. I don't. Nothing feels realistic for big behind the scenes. Could you class Sane as big behind the scenes?
I don't think. Well, I think it's a big move in terms of like shit. No way has that happened. But like, it's not a big move in terms of finance. I don't think it's going to cost more than 60 million. But yeah, I don't know on that one. I don't know. It's just very weird, isn't it? It's very weird because we're not being linked with no one. And the reason we're not being linked with no one is because no one knows what's happening. Yeah,
like you said, that domino needs to fall, man. The players, I feel like all the players who are on the verge of leaving don't know whether they want to leave or not. Example, Kyle Walker this week. Flip-flopping. Do you know what I mean? Gundogan doesn't know what he wants to do. We need these players to decide what they're doing so then we can move forward with our transfer window.
Yeah.
Because they've probably got different strategies of how they want to move through the window depending on who stays.
Correct. Yeah, correct. He mentioned a little bit about some of the academy players. He said on Rico Lewis, he says he's given the opportunity and he grasps it. I'm so very happy for him. I'm delighted for Rico and even more for the City Academy. He's showing consistently we're producing the talent and we have that pathway. They will get the chance and opportunities. And if you look at Phil Foden from the City Academy, the most decorated player today, probably in English football at his age, look at the evolution from 17 to 21. We've been very careful in supporting him. We'll do the same with Rico, Cole, and all of the others. So speaking a bit about the academy there, obviously we know that, Cole Palmer is probably going to be loaned out this summer, but you're still going to have Rico Lewis in with the first team. Phil Foden is obviously not an academy player anymore, but he's developed from the academy. And maybe you'll see, one or two others. Is Carlos Borges going to sign that new contract? Is Mabude going to stay? Will some of the other players get chances?
Oscar Bob taking Cole Palmer's spot, isn't there?
Yeah. So this obviously the academy is producing. It's doing very well. They've all won their respective leagues as well. So that's fantastic. But yeah, he obviously likes to speak about the the academy. Interestingly, on the Etihad Stadium, he says on improvements, he says, every year there's always something new and we need to improve, evolve and grow. We don't stand still and we never did. We started somewhere and every couple of years we'll do something like the Tunnel Club, new stands, seating. And now we're going to have a wonderful development around it that's going to enhance the whole area. It's going to be great for the fans and it's going to bring, I think, positive revenue for Manchester City, which is obviously the new arena, the Corp Arena it's called. And it's good, and he mentioned obviously doing up the stadium and obviously they're going to do the North Stand and make that bigger, get more fans in the stadium to make it around a 60,000 seater, I believe it's going to be now. So yeah, they're investing, and this is what you want from owners. This is what you want from the board, to invest in the infrastructure of the club, innit?
Yeah, and you see progression going forward, don't you? Like of the club and where it's come from and where it is now. And it's not just about, oh, look, we've done this. The treble is complete. Like, this is it now. Like, it's about what is next. And I think he said in this one that he's excited about the future. So, I mean, there's a lot of new things happening with the club. Obviously, there's new statues in there. There's new, like you say, the new renovations to the stadium. There's new corporate arena, bringing extra revenue in. It's all about forward thinking with his club, which is mint, man. It's so sick. It's sick hearing him talk about it as well, because you can see how passionate he is about bringing this club forward even further. Like, it's almost like a treble's not enough. He wants to keep winning. Treble, yeah, buzzing. You can tell he's gassed that we've done that, but also, let's go do it again.
Yeah.
Like, he gives off that energy, which is sick.
And you've got to keep on investing, because otherwise your club becomes stale. You know what I mean? Look at Barcelona. You know what I mean? Look at their stadium. Look at the San Siro. Look at United. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to keep on improving the infrastructure year on year, and just doing a little bit. You don't have to go crazy. Just do a little bit, modernise a little bit.
You don't have to go full Spurs, innit? It's for Spurs, but hammering.
Well, exactly. They've kind of done it the wrong way. They've moved into a stadium, and it's a mint stadium, and that, you know what I mean? And fair fucks for them. But now they've got what, £1 billion in debt or whatever they had to borrow. The club's in a mess. I guarantee 99% of Spurs fans, if you'd have said to them, you stay at White Hart Lane, but you're still in the Champions League and you're still trying to actually invest in the team, they're all going to take it, most of them. You know what I mean? Yeah, a stadium's nice, but what's a stadium when you're watching shit football? What's a stadium when you're underachieving, right? So you've got to continue to invest in the club, do it responsibly, which is City are doing.
Do you think, like, rival fans and that watch these kind of, like, these interviews with Khaldoon and that, and just think, like, they must think that they wish that do you think it's interesting from their standpoint, even though they're not City fans, you know what I mean, to hear, like, because he talks about the insides of the football club and that, isn't it? Like,
I think so. I think, yeah, because a lot of the owners that are in the league and that are naff. A lot of the boards are naff, and I think
they don't care, innit? A lot of the boards and that, they don't actually really care about the club too much.
I think a lot of them are very, very envious of what we've got, and the detail and the lack of mistakes. You know what I mean? There's very few mistakes that these guys make, and they're doing it the right way. And yeah, how many it is, and it's great for the area and that, you know what I mean? And obviously they go to America most years pre-season. I think they're taking a slight deviation this year going to Asia, but it's about doing it for everyone, you know what I mean? And that's why obviously they've got the CFG, invested in clubs all around the world to expand that, you know what I mean, invest in it. And he speaks about that a little bit actually, and he says it's one step at a time. We're not going to stop on expanding the City Football Group. We're going to keep going, keep investing, keep growing value, keep bringing happiness to every community and every club we have in the world. And he spoke about the academies that they've built around the world for the different clubs in the CFG, stadiums that I think they're building. I think they're building one in New York or something like that. So yeah, I mean, fair fucks. I mean, yeah, you're probably right to answer the question. Yeah, the people are probably jealous.
I think so. King Hammer too says Ronaldo missed out on a historical treble. Yeah, because he probably would have been here as well.
So did Kane.
Oh, that must be grim for Kane, that. But imagine all the trophies Kane could have won in 2 years. You could have just done 2 years and dipped. Well, it's horrendous. Andy would have scored bags. Like, he scored 30 goals for Tottenham this year. That is wild. Is it 30 or 32, something like that? He scored an incredible amount of goals.
He done a madness, yeah.
He did mint, which is pretty mad. Timmy says statue of Khaldoon.
Statue of Khaldoon.
Statue of Shape Man Soul. I think Pep will get a statue.
Yeah, he'll get a statue.
He deserves a statue, man. Italian Style with a 10 says, would you guys be satisfied if we have the same squad as last season, 22-23 season, with Bernardo and Gundo staying? So do you think we can compete for the treble next season? It would be tough mentally. I
always think you need a refresh.
Yeah, you need to keep moving. And also, I feel like mentally it'll be a hit, obviously, because they've all done it. They'll have the hunger and the desire to get it again, obviously, but there will be fatigue in there just naturally. But also, what you got to look at is like the state of some of these players, man, that we had them playing in. Ilkay Gundogan towards the end of the season was blowing. Kevin De Bruyne at times looked knackered. Like, I'd rather not go through that again. If possible.
Yeah, I think for me, we need another winger, and if you get Kovacic in, swap the port for Guardiola. That's probably chilling.
I think that's a good window. That if Gundo stays and you get Kovacic in, you're getting back up for Gundo there. And I think if you get obviously Guardiola for Laporte, buzz in, and then on the right hand side, go get yourself another winger.
Yeah,
I think that'd be mint.
Go and get if Mahrez stays, you probably want a winger that can play both sides.
Oh, 2 seconds, bro. Someone's at my door. Hang on.
Yeah, you probably want a winger that can play both sides if you keep in Mahrez, and of course you got Bernardo and you got Foden, so they're going to be down the pecking order. But you just need someone who's decent enough to come off the bench, decent enough to play some of the cup games, and not let you down. Maybe some of you might say that might be Borges as a winger. Mabude, obviously, yeah, McAtee potentially could do it. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's where we're at. He also mentioned in the interview about statues for Mike Summerby, Colin Bell, and Francis Lee. He says, "I've seen the statue. I've been very involved. It's something very personal for me. You have to recognise greatness and the incredible people that contribute to what we have today. We have a responsibility as caretakers of this club. While the statues that built so far have recognised the modern day Man City heroes, this new statue is something I think every City fan truly appreciates, the history of this great club. It's represented with Francis, Colin, Mike, and having them together in a magnificent piece of art is the least we can do for what they've done, leaving that everlasting legacy, always there to remember what Man City has. It is an incredible history." So yeah, another statue there. So buzzing to see that.
Oh, that's the triple one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the triple statue, which is decent, man. And then we need to get the Gundogan statue going. You know what I mean? And then that'll be pretty much it. Obviously we'll have Kevin De Bruyne will get a statue because he has to get a statue.
There's a lot of fucking statues.
Yeah, but there's not. People keep saying this, but it's just because they've all been put up. Remember, up until we had these statues up, there was no statues there. Yeah, so people just say this because they've just put all the statues up basically in a short period of time. But there's only 3 statues there right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna have another statue which is a treble. That's 4 statues. I'm shouting Gundogan, I'm shouting Kev, and I'm shouting Pep. That's
Kev and Pep.
So it's not really that much. You know what I mean? So and then who's the next person to get a statue after that? It's probably going to be Phil Foden, and that won't be until like 2035. So once you've got these next 3 statues done, in my opinion, which would be Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, and Pep Guardiola, the next person to probably get one, and he might not get one, by the way, would be Phil Foden. Because who else in the pipeline is going to get a statue? No one.
People saying Rodri. If Rodri stayed all his career, would you give him a statue?
If he stays until like he's 36, 37, yeah, maybe he'll get a statue. But again, that's going to be in like 2038, 2035.
Do you think Pep will get a statue, or do you think he'll get something like extra? Like a stand?
Like a stand.
Like rename the South Stand to the Guardiola stand.
Yeah, maybe that's an option. Yeah, but
do you think maybe like Kev? I think Kev deserves a statue definitely. And I think I've seen someone say there, could you have Kev and Gundo on one statue?
Nah.
Do you know what I'm interested to see as well? Do you know the way he spoke to it? I think last year when he spoke about the statues, because I'm sure he gave a hint to that the triple statue. I think he gave a hint to that in the last interview that he did, saying that there's another one with like 3 players on it. I wonder if it's going to be the same guy who's done the first 3, or if they're going to switch it up for that one. Because I feel like if it was going to be the same guy, that he might have said like, "Oh yeah, we're going to like," do you know what I mean, and reference the guy again. Because when they spoke about the Aguero statue, they referenced the guy again. But it'd be interesting to see if it is the same artist who's done the other ones.
Yeah.
And the City just stick with that style to like throughout.
Exactly. Yeah, and then people are saying Gundo might not get a statue because he's not allowed one. Well, we've had contradicting.
We have like contradicting things.
Some people are saying he is allowed one. Some people are saying he isn't. But say he's not allowed one. You've only got 2 more anyway. And possibly one if you don't give Pep a statue, you just give him a stand.
Yeah.
And then the next time you're going to be giving them out, it's going to be in the 2030s. So people need to chill on the whole, there's too many statues, you know what I mean? Because there's not.
Darcy, yes, with a 12 months says Nolito statue, question mark.
Just build him a cave, innit?
Yeah, he's got a statue in the depths of Earth. Like you gotta go really far down to find that one. Yeah, the Nolito. It's mad that the Nolito saga existed. Like that was a real thing. Nolito was real.
That was crazy.
Like every time I see Nolito now, the only every time I see Nolito is just when people post that meme and it says Delito. Like on the back of his shirt, it says Delito instead of Nolito. That's the only time I ever see the guy.
Let me see if there's anything else that I want to go through from Carl Doom. I think that's pretty much it. It was mainly just about like the future in terms of like the club and that. There wasn't really too much specifically about.
He didn't give us the spice, bro. Innit? We asked yesterday. We wanted spice.
You wanted spice, man.
I want them transfer like crumbs, bro. Like, give us nothing. I give us absolutely nothing.
There ain't nothing, man. Elway statue.
As he is now.
It's funny, man. Big up Dennis says we should sign Jota from Celtic. He's young, quick, tricky, won't be that expensive, and he's Portuguese, so will fit in easily. Hashtag see sign Jota. I don't know who that guy is. Jota from Celtic.
The only Jota I know is the Liverpool, don't he?
Yeah, same here. I don't know this guy.
I don't know that guy. It's mad because there's no wingers, man. Is he a winger?
No wingers anywhere, bro.
I don't know, innit? It's weird. I'd like to see a statue of Pep's head with a cigar in his gob.
Yeah, so there you go. That's the news, isn't it?
That's the Dune part 2. It's a shame there's no part 3.
That is the Dune.
But yeah, that's your end of season interview. We'll have to wait another year for the next one. See why go on. See where we're at next year. I mean, we could be a back-to-back treble there next year, bro.
You know, isn't it? Massam, with the super chat says Lavia going to Arsenal, don't like it. Yeah, it's looking like, but it was always going to go somewhere, wasn't he? He wasn't going to stay at Southampton.
Yeah, he was too good, innit?
Yeah.
He was too good to not go somewhere. It's a shame that we didn't have the buyback in this year.
Yeah.
Because we would have definitely activated that. I wonder how much money he'll go for.
But we would have activated it and we would have sold him.
Yeah, we'd have activated it. That's what I mean. We would have activated it and then just sold him on, just like we did with Angelino. Darcy with the 2 says Berardi for right wing.
Wasn't he cooking up a few years ago? I'm sure he was cooking up like a couple of seasons ago. Wasn't people speaking really about him?
Going sick about this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still doing the business, but that's fine, isn't it? That's fine.
I'm not asked about like age. Obviously, Neymar's 31 or something, isn't it? Like, and we're still gassing him.
He's still cooking, apparently, says Darcy. Darcy was the one with the super chat. Yeah.
How old's Chaser? Chaser's only 25.
25, yeah.
What? That's weird. I didn't know he was that young.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got to see, innit? Got to see,
But on a real chat, all you lot need to get outside and start playing football in it because we're running out of footballers, man. We just talk about the same ones all the time. And every club is probably talking about the same ones that we're talking about. So go play football. Go kick a ball in it. Go make yourself sick at football and that. Go get scouted.
Talent Drain FC, innit?
Yeah, we're stuck out here. Me and I'll be too old, innit? We're past it. We're nearly 30, so we're past it. That's grim, that. We're nearly 30. That's old, that. Yeah, we're nearly 30, so we can't do it. But you lot, I mean, there's some of you lot who you'll be like prime time ready to play football.
Truth. Stallion with a 5 says, does Gundogan reputation go down if he joins Arsenal? So if you get about the statue, go to Barcelona. Not an Arsenal man. Arsenal is still interested. I don't think he's joining Arsenal, bro. So I wouldn't even worry about that. He's going to go Barcelona or he'll sign at City. Why would he go to Arsenal? It makes no sense. City have offered him a contract. Yeah. Apparently City have offered him a 2-year deal now as well. Why? So it makes no sense.
Like, why would he want to have a different challenge in the same league?
Nah, he ain't going there.
He ain't going to go there. I think
he's a legend at Manchester City now.
If Arsenal offered him 3 years and City offered him 2 years, I think he'd still sooner accept the 2 years from City.
I agree.
Than the 3
he's
years
not going to go there. He's literally now a Manchester City legend. For him to go there would just be dumb. So he's not going to go there. He'll go Barcelona or he'll stay at City. So we'll see in it. Harlan says, it's LB. Would you rather have Chaser, Barella, or both? Well, we only need Barella if Gundogan doesn't sign. So yeah, I mean, if Gundogan doesn't sign, then yeah, I'll take them both, innit? But yeah, we'll see. Innit?
Barella cover Chaser. That'd be sick.
It would be sick, wouldn't it?
Bro, I just want like remontada for Chaser, bro. At City though. Bro, that Euros, he did something different. It was like next level.
Yeah, no, he did. It was sick.
The guy's energy is next. So we need that in the team again.
No, it was, man. It was, but there you go. If you've not watched it, I would recommend watching the full interview. It's a good interview, man. Obviously, it's the boss man speaking. So go check it out and see what he's got to say. We'll probably do a couple of videos. Obviously, we've got the Sane video or stream or whatever that people want. And we will do.
Yeah, it won't be one of full Sane.
And there is a little bit of speculation coming out in the last hour or two about potential signing. So we'll go through that as well. But other than that, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next one, innit?
Hey boy, see you in a bit.
Yeah.